China Mac with Mikey T, the movie star, and you are now tuned in to the Report Card Radio. Bow!
So yo, China Mac, thanks for taking the time to speak with me today. What's up, man?
What's up? How you doing, brother?
It's good to have you back out here in the game, man. What's new with you?
It's good to be back. I mean, everything new. Just trying to, you know what I mean? Just trying to make this shit happen. Trying to turn my dreams into reality, you know?
I was asking you, where did the name of the label Red Money actually come from?
Yeah, so Red Money, I mean, in all Asian cultures, red is a prominent color, you know what I mean? And in our culture, Chinese culture, you know, on Chinese New Year Day, we all wear red. Everybody wears red. It's the lucky color. And for luck, we put brand new money in a red envelope, and we give it to, you know, the kids and everybody else that we want to bring luck upon. You know what I mean? So when I figured it, I was like Red Money, because it's like, you know, red is the color. It was like a more cultural thing, you know what I mean? But it also sounds tough at the same time. Like it gives off the, you know, a lot of people think it's like blood connotations and all that, like I'm blood or something, but I'm really not, you know what I mean? But that the color red is just the color of my people, and the color red also represents, you know, the blood and the struggle and everything else, that the blood, sweat, and tears that we put into, you know, achieving what we set out to. You know what I'm saying?
So yo, there's been a few different Asian artists in the game. You know, you got South Star, you got Jin, but how do you feel that the Asian culture has been represented in hip hop?
I think the Asian culture in hip hop is big as fuck right now. It's actually like, it's not big as fuck, but it is there, and it's really like, and it's coming from a place where nobody even thinks that it will come from. You know what I'm saying? It's actually coming from overseas. You know what I'm saying? It's, you know, these kids that are popping right now. I mean, you said Jin, you said South Star, you know. That's like, they never really pop like that either, you know what I'm saying? But you got these kids right now that's Rich Chigga, you got these kids, the Higher Brothers, you got Spence Shatta, you got a few dudes out there right now that's really like making waves, like, you know what I'm saying? And I think before, the world just wasn't ready to see an Asian rapper really be successful, like to really accept it, you know what I'm saying? I just don't think the world was ready, and everything happens when it's ready to, you know what I mean? You can try all you want, but if it's just not ready, then it's not gonna happen, you know what I'm saying? And then like 5 years, 10 years later, somebody that's, you know, that's doing the same thing you did 10 years ago gets to blow the fuck up, because it was just ready for that at that time, you know what I'm saying? So right now, I think the world is much more ready for that than 10 years ago. You know what I'm saying? And I think we're gonna see a lot more of it. It's gonna pop. You know what I mean? There's gonna be a lot more artists, Asian artists, that's coming up and bringing their own different swag and style to it, and really like just make it popular.
So, you know, everybody knows your story, you know, from the several interviews and, you know, projects that you've released. But what do you plan on doing to set yourself apart from the other crop of talent that's already come out, like to make your name even bigger?
Well, just work hard. You know what I mean? Work hard, keep an open mind, and be flexible. You know what I'm saying? Just, you know, cause dudes and you know, I feel I have an advantage over a lot of people is because I'm flexible. Like, I'll be rapping and I'm spitting hard bars, but I could also do other things too, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't just focus on one thing and one way to deliver it. I focus on 10 different things and different ways to deliver it. You know what I'm saying? And that just makes my presence so much more stronger. Because yeah, you're listening to my music, but you're also watching this in the movie, and you're also watching my skits, and you're also doing this, and you're also listening to me give, you know, motivational talks, and you're also watching my vlogs, and you're also buying my clothes, and you're also doing this. So it's like, you know, I think that what sets me apart from others is because I'm willing to put in the work, and I'm creative with it. You know what I mean? I'm willing to, I have the ability to be creative and you know, put myself in places creatively to make me even bigger than what I normally would or wouldn't be.
Tell me where your name actually comes from.
China Mac was given to me when I was in prison. You know, there's a blood gang called a blood set called the Mac Ballers, and you know, I was in a building in C95, Rikers Island, when a lot of them were just starting to be like, you know, a lot of the people that are considered big homies now, and like before we came up together, like we were kids together in, you know, C74, we was adolescents, we was in the same house, so we, you know, so a lot of these people I knew, and then they joined this gang, and they wanted me to be a part of it, but because I didn't want to do that. That's not what I wanted to do. Because when I went to jail, I was in the gang, and I didn't want to change gangs. And so what I took my oath for to that one gang, I just, you know what I mean? Either I die or the gang dies, like either or. You know? So basically, China Mag came from, you know, a bunch of my homies that I knew when we was adolescents in C74 and also upstate. They were a part of a gang called Mac Ballers, and they was trying to get me to be, you know, Mac. They was trying to turn me into that gang, but I always rode out with them because they was my people. If something happened, I'm popping with them. We gonna go to the box together. You know what I mean? Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? But I never joined the gang because this just wasn't my. You know what I mean? I wasn't comfortable putting my life on the line and putting my freedom on the line for people I didn't even know. You know what I'm saying? People that I just met like a week ago. You know what I mean? I couldn't even check their pedigree. I couldn't even see where he came from. He could have been a pedophile. He could have been whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? He could have did 100 motherfuckers dirty. And then now I gotta fucking do something for him. I'm responsible for him, and he's responsible for me. And I don't even know this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So I was never really keen on that. But whoever I got close with, whether they was Blood, Crip, Latin King, Rat Hunter, whatever gang, if the gang didn't matter, you know what I'm saying? It was if I connected with somebody, then I would ride with that person like, you know, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's my brother, you know what I'm saying? So they gave me, so a bunch of the Macs was like, yo, turn Mac, whatever, and you know what I mean? But they was like, yeah, that's China Mac, that's the Mac, that's China Mac, you know what I'm saying? So when I came home, when I was in prison, my name was GK actually, you know what I'm saying? And then I was thinking, I was in my cell thinking about, you know, plans and shit. I'm like, China Mac is actually a fucking, like, the name rings a little bit. Like, it just has this, it has a good ring to it, a good energy to it, and it could be marketable. So I was like, I'm gonna go with that name, you know what I mean, instead of GK. So actually my name was GK all the way until the day I left prison. When I left prison, my name was China Mac from there. So, you know, that's how I got that name.
And this is the end of your 10-year stint.
Yeah.
That your name became China Mac.
That's a fact.
So can you tell me what actually led to your first stint in jail?
Well, I've been coming in and out of prison since I was a kid, you know what I'm saying? And before I was 17, before I was of age to go to prison, I was in juvenile detention centers, and them shits was locked down, them shits was just like prison. So I've been in the system since I was a kid. Like, I was in a group home, foster kid, or Spofford when I was 8. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I knew about that already. You know what I mean? And then I've been running into troubles with the law and shit. But the 3 years I went, before I did the 10, I did 3 years, and that was for witness tampering, coercion and witness tampering. They said that I forced somebody not to go to court.
So what was the life you were living at this point? Were you rapping? Were you still like in and out of the studio? Were you just, you know?
At that time, nah, I was just in the street. Just running around doing dumb shit, you know what I mean? Getting money here and there. But really just like doing gangbanging shit. Like, you know what I mean? just riding on other gangs, just fucking living, you know what I mean, living that type of life.
So what actually led to you to start doing the music?
I discovered hip hop when I was a kid in a group home and shit, and so hip hop's always been around, and I always like was dabbling into it, trying to rap and whatever. I remember like when I was in DFY, I had a Source magazine, and I went to the back and it had the hip hop quotables, and it had this mob, the Prodigy verse for Infamous, and I was like, well, so I fucking memorized that shit, right? And I went to my dorm and shit, and I'm rapping that shit, like, and dudes like, oh shit, that shit fire, like what the fuck, you know what I'm saying? And then they heard the song on the radio, and they're like, oh hold up, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, they was like, yo, this ain't you spitting this shit. But from that, around that time, I was like, yo, I wanted to start rapping. So from there, I started writing, and then little by little, I just started getting better and better at it. And then, so it was really a prison thing. When I was in prison, I started rapping with everybody. You know what I mean? We had ciphers. I jump in the cipher, and every time, like after a while, I started seeing like the response I was getting. Like people was like, whoa, shit, like, you know what I'm saying? And then after a while, people were just saying, yo, they would talk about me, like the age, like that's the rapper, like, you know what I'm saying? Son be rapping, son nice. When I pull up in the building, people like, yo, son nice, he you know what I mean? So, cause you know, when you come into a new jail, a new house, a new whatever, the rapper in the house, automatically, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, there's like some type of, you know, you gotta go and check in with the other rappers and, you know what I mean, touch your bars and, you know what I'm saying, shit, and just trade off bars and shit. So I was doing that, you know what I mean? And then when I came home after the 3 years, I was like, you know what? And that was around the time Jin had made the 106 in Park shit, the MC Jin. And I was like, whoa, this motherfucker. And at that time, I was battling everybody in prison in Rikers Island, and I was smashing dudes. Like officers used to come get me from my house, bring me to another house, and gamble with another officer, like, yo, boom, like betting on us, like, you know what I'm saying? Like it was like a rap battle type shit. So I was doing it, and then I was like, yo, I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna do it. And then I went home, I started fucking with it, but I was still all the way in the street. I was trying to, you know what I'm saying? I was young, I was still stupid, high-headed, and I fucking caught the 11-year bid before I could even. But at that time, I saw how the industry was gravitating to me. I saw how, like, I got a little piece of it. Like, damn, I could really get in there, cause I got in there. I was making all types of moves, and dudes was like, oh shit, like, you know what I mean? Like I just have this type of like charisma when it comes to dealing with this music shit. Like I just make shit happen, and I was doing that shit at that time, and I had a little piece of it, and then I fucking caught the 11-year bid. I went to jail. So all that time, I wasn't planning on coming back out here to do music. But after, on my 5th year, 5 years left, I was like, you know what, fuck it. And people was always telling me like, yo, you need to go out there and pursue that shit. Like, you really need to do that shit. So I was kind of undecided all the way to my last year. And when I got to my last year, I went to Franklin with my brother K.A., my brother Duke. And that's when I really was like, he really talked me into it. Like, yo, he really made me prep myself to go out there and do the music shit. He's like, yo, you gotta do that shit, boom, boom. And then that's when we came up with the name, and we came up with the whole idea, the plan. And it's been on ever since. When I came out here, it's just been.
So you were talking about, you know, being in jail and going up to the other rappers. I assume you mean like just the other rappers in the jail, but did you run into any celebrity rappers while in jail?
Celebrity rappers who I came across. Let me see, ODB. I came across ODB when we was in this is China Mac, and my new album is an album that you need in your life. If you fuck with New York hip hop, if you fuck with that raw, if you fuck with that real, you fuck with Movie in the Making, MITM, China Mac. You could go cop it anywhere, all major outlets, you know what I'm saying? It's everywhere, download it, stream it, everywhere. Go fuck with it, China Mac, MITM, in this bitch.
So you were talking about, you know, being in jail and going up to the other rappers. I assume you mean like just the other rappers in the jail, but did you run into any celebrity rappers while in jail?
Celebrity rappers who I came across. Let me see, ODB. I came across ODB when we was in Rikers Island. He was in C95. He was a bug out. He was like smoking cigarettes off the floor. He wasn't taking showers. Like, you know what I'm saying? He was ODB for real. But then he'll go on a visiting floor. He'll have like 2 bad chicks visiting him and shit. But he had like, I mean, when I met him in there, he had like, he wasn't all wrapped up right. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you could tell he was like spaced out and shit. So and whatever he was outside, he was like times 20 in jail. So, you know, he was kind of spaced out. I don't know if he was taking meds or some shit, but he was a little spaced out. We was in the same house together, but I used to see him like in the yard, and then people be talking about him. I see him when, you know, on our way to rec or in the hallways and shit. I see him in the visiting room, but he was just spaced out, like, you know what I mean? One time when I seen him in the visiting room, I was like, yo, what's up, old dirty bastard? He was just looking like this. It looked like he was on medication, like he was medicated. His face was all bloated. And this was right before he died. This is like when around the time like he did the bid and he went home. I think he signed to the Rockefeller. And then that was around the time it was over for him. Well, he was like, you know, he was a little spaced out. I don't think he was in the best state of his life at that time. You know what I mean? I think he was kind of in the, you know. But I seen him on the visiting floor. He wasn't taking showers. He was picking up cigarette butts on the floor. People was always talking about him, like, you know what I mean? But I just looked at him like, damn, like sometimes people that's so great, you know what I mean? Like people that are really talented and gifted, they take pain and they take, you know, shit differently. You know what I'm saying? And it really affects them and shocks them to their core. So I think it was one of them for him, like, you know, he was just really talented, really gifted, but he was also like spaced out, like, you know what I'm saying? He was kind of like, you know, and I think the prison situation at the time, it really claimed him a little bit. You know what I mean?
So you were also saying you were locked up with Gaddafi?
Yeah, I was locked up with Tragedy, Gaddafi. We was in Sing Sing together. Me and him, we spoke a bunch of times. He came into the jail, and at that time, me and my homie, we had got a correctional officer to bring us a fucking beat machine. So we had this beat machine, and you could connect a mic to it, and you could record music, which is like, that was like a studio that was unheard of in jail, you know what I'm saying? And we set up a little studio in the school building. We had this beat machine, we could record music, and we set up a little studio. And then when Trash pulled up, I heard that he pulled up, I immediately sent them word like, yo, we got the studio, pull up. So he came down here to fuck with us and shit. We laid down some music, you know what I mean? We just in jail, like, you know, just still in jail trying to make it happen. You know what I mean? The spirit was still alive.
I want to talk about the new music, Movie in the Making.
Yeah, I wrote most of MITM when I was in prison. The album was ready to go, and then I got locked up. 3 days before I was releasing the first single featuring me and Dave East Going Down, I got locked up. I came out on bail, but then I knew that they was gonna fucking violate me. So me and Young M.A. shot a video. Me and Young M.A. had did the song. I had did the songs with Dave East and Young M.A. before they blew up.
So you want to jump into that record, Say a Prayer? Tell me about how it came together and meeting Young M.A.
Say a Prayer. I remember I was shooting a video. I was shooting my Voices in My Head video, and somebody was playing videos. They were just watching videos on the break time, and Young M.A. video came out. It was the Chirac remix. There was another freestyle shit I did, but I just saw the energy. I saw the confidence. and I saw the difference. You know what I'm saying? I saw how she could easily stand different than all the competition. You know what I'm saying? And she owned it too. Like, it wasn't like forced. It wasn't like she owned it. And I saw it in the first fucking 2 minutes of watching it. The first minute, first 50 seconds, 30 seconds of watching a video, I saw it. You know what I mean? And I knew that she was gonna pop. So I was like, and I know the timeliness of things. Like, I know when I have the intuition to know that, you know, the world that we're in, we're more receptive to gays and lesbians now. You know what I'm saying? Versus 20 years ago, 10 years ago. But so knowing that, I knew that there was about to be, they have to let somebody in. You know what I'm saying? And when I saw her, I'm like, yo, she's gonna kill him. So I reached out immediately to the first person that I knew who had it, like a dealing with her, and it was somebody that interviewed me. Like a week before, somebody had interviewed me, but they interviewed her after me. So I reached out to him like, hey, why don't you reach out to their management and see if I can get a feature? So when they reached out, and then it was Sav, my boy Sav was a friend of mine right now. Sav, I called Sav, so Sav was like, yo, I checked your shit out. You know what I mean? You official dude. So we down to do the record, we'll do the record, you know what I'm saying? But he was like, but before we talk about anything else, pull up. We at motherfucking Webster Hall tonight. So pull up and shit. You know what I mean? Let's get the feeling. Let's see if, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right, yeah, I'm out there. So I had 2 people in the car. So I'm like, I dropped them off to their car. I'm like, I'm gonna go by myself. So I didn't even tell them where I was going. I just drove to Webster Hall. So I went out there, and then we went to Webster Hall and shit. And I had I ain't gonna talk about it, but so we went inside, and then there was like a big fight. So Young and Mayday was there, and it was like the whole red Life Camp was there. And then, you know, I met them, what's up. So at that moment, I felt like she was, you know, she was the artist. You know what I'm saying? She was the person that we had to protect. Even though I'm the artist, and I'm always, you know, I gotta be protecting myself. But at that time, I'm like, all right, you know what? Boom, so I felt like, you know what I mean? I'm gonna protect her. Like, you know what I'm saying? Anything going on in the club, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna just worry about myself. I was inducted into that team just for that day. You know what I'm saying? Just for that day. If I never see them ever in my life, but we walked in there together. They brought me in, so I'm like, all right, whatever happens, we gonna leave this bitch together. We're not gonna, you know what I mean? Some shit happened. I'm not gonna go this way, and we're gonna leave this bitch together. And then when we get out the doors, you go to your car, I go to my car, and that's it. We don't have to ever speak again. But if I walk in there with you, we walking out of there together. You know what I'm saying? Or if you let me in there and I go in there under your accordance, you know what I'm saying? Then we're gonna leave there together. You know what I'm saying? So there was a big scuffle that happened, and we were standing right there. So some of the people, first instinct was to like move back, but Sav was like, nah, motherfuckers ain't moving. Motherfuckers is staying right here. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they come in your section, you push them. But I was doing that already, because that's just how, you know what I'm saying? That's just how I move. So when people was coming, we just moving them this way. And I just saw the camaraderie in their, you know, in their little group. I saw that they really regarded Young and May, and they was ready to protect her at all costs, because they saw what was about to happen. You know what I mean? They knew it. You know what I mean? And from there, I was like, I fuck with them. They real. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we did the record. And after that, before I could do it, I wasn't thinking about shooting a video, because I really didn't know how big she was gonna get. I was just like, how fast it was gonna happen. I was just like, let me just secure the record. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I'll shoot the video later, if anything, whatever. But let me just get the record first. I really wasn't thinking about the video. Then I got arrested, and I came out on bail. So I'm like, damn, I gotta shoot as many videos as possible so it could hold me down for the little 90 days I might be in jail for. I'm thinking it was only gonna be 90 days. So I called Young and May, and I told her what was about to happen, and she was like, "I bet we gonna come out." It was the coldest day of that year. We went in front of Barclays Center. It was so cold, like it was really cold. Like you couldn't even, your hands couldn't be exposed because it was so cold. But we were standing out there in the middle of the street shooting a video, and she didn't whine about it. She wasn't like, "Yo, let's go," like yo, what the fuck? Like she was like, "Yo, what's up? What shots we need to do?" And we was there for a couple of hours, and she wasn't like diva. She was just like, just there to get this shit done. You know what I'm saying? And I felt that genuine shit out of her. And after that, the day after that, I go back to jail, and I go to jail for 16 months. And even after, while I was in jail, yo, some of the people that, my own people, I couldn't even call because they wouldn't pick up my calls, or they'll turn off their phone. But Sav is Young and May's manager. He always picked up the phone, and if he didn't pick up the phone, he would call back to the people that did the three-way, like, "Yo, tell the bro that I'm here," whatever. So they always kept it official shit. I have high respect for them and shit. Hey yo, what's up? This is China Mac, and my new album is an album that you need in your life. If you fuck with New York hip hop, if you fuck with that raw, if you fuck with that real, you fuck with Movie in the Making, MITM, China Mac. You could go cop it anywhere, all major outlets, you know what I'm saying? It's everywhere, download it, stream it, everywhere. Go fuck with it, China Mac, MITM,